Okay, so what is the importance of being of service? How can I be of service? Ladies first.
I think it just happens. For me, it happened around step 4. Something happened, something clicked or changed, and then you were able to sponsor. So sponsoring was something that helped me be of service. Also, other opportunities like being on parent committee and hosting were really important. So we had other teens stay with us, and that helped us grow. So it's kind of like you don't go, I don't make a conscious decision like I'm gonna do this and this is going to happen. It just happens as you're working your program, and it helps you grow. And I wouldn't be where I am today had I not been of service. So it's something that it's like a natural process. It just happens, or at least that's how I felt it happened for us.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, I said it earlier, but like the root of the problem is like selfishness and self-centeredness, right? And the 12th step, the last step is, having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we help someone else, and how I sponsor dudes, it's like, that is your goal. That is your target, is to have a spiritual awakening and to help other people. And because as soon as everything stops being about me, that's when I can actually like be a part of life again. There's this a speaker, he has a speaker tape on Spotify. His name's Chris Raymer. He's like super fire and brimstone, sounds like a Southern Baptist preacher, and he says stuff like, I refuse to sit on the sidelines while you continue to kill yourself, and it's like, who am I, a recovered person, to go to a meeting, hear like a burning desire or someone who is like desperate for help, and then after the meeting just ignore the guy, last in, first out, or the guy's like alone by himself, like just waiting for someone to throw him like a lifeline. It's like, the community and like my higher power and my parents, they have given me like amazing tools to help myself. But again, the problem is selfishness. It's like, I'm being pretty selfish if I'm not like sharing that with someone else, like I give it away to keep it. I help other people so that I can live the life that I live today. And also it's just like, and I know, everyone who's sponsored for any, measurable length of time, it's like the good part is seeing, sponsees like have some sort of like spiritual awakening. Like seeing the lights come on in someone that you're helping is an experience like no other, I mean, my guys, like just like seeing those guys recover and help and, try and like, rebuild their families and be full of life again, when I remember, when they were just getting out of treatment, they like wanted to kill themselves or they wanted to get high, they had no self-esteem. It is an amazing experience and like so, humbling to play a part in that, and it gives me a sense of gratitude. So that's all I got.
Anything to add to that?
Just very briefly, one of the things that and this probably isn't very flattering, but coming into recovery, I saw myself as a very unselfish, altruistic person and was always willing to pitch in and help out and be a leader and all those kinds of things. One of the things that I, through my step work, learned about myself is that a lot of times that was rooted really more in conditional love than in a service mentality. So for me, the importance of service is learning to connect the benefits that I get from it, from doing it, and it's okay to be of service for the benefits that I get out of it. So like when I'm a sponsor, I'm 100% sure I get more out of sponsoring than I get out of than my sponsees get. and that's okay. I deserve that, and I'm worthy of that. And hopefully, I can teach a sponsee to develop that same relationship with their sponsees. And so for me, I guess the importance of service was really learning maybe a little more realistic picture of my role in a community, and this community is a great place to experiment and practice with relationships, and it's a very unjudging and forgiving community, and that for me helped life at work, life at home, life with family outside of recovery.
Cool. So there's something to be said for those that like give the most, get the most. And so as far as the importance of service, it's kind of difficult to overstate the importance of service. Like then there's so many different ways to serve. And the second part of this question is, how can I be of service? Well, be of service by, sharing in meetings, being of service by bringing donuts for the meeting, by sponsoring, hosting events, girls' night, guys' night, functions, hosting kids in your home. There's like, the list goes on and on and on. There's so many ways to be of service, and kind of historically, and these guys are a really great example of that. The parents that I don't want to say have done well or done the best in the program. I don't want to like quantify it in that way, but for lack of a better way to put it, are the ones that have engaged on multiple levels and have like multiple tethers by choice to their program, whether that's being on committee, sponsoring other parents, hosting events, like all of those things. The more of those tethers that I have, then the greater accountability I'm going to have in my life. And if I've got some accountability, then that's going to increase my follow through, which is going to lead to me probably working a little harder, which is going to lead to me growing, and experiencing that growth makes me want all those things that much more, because that kind of stuff like really fills that hole in my heart that I spent so long before trying to fill. So there's so many ways to be of service. You guys just being here this morning to be a part of this meeting is you showing up and being of service to the mom and dad next to you, maybe without even realizing it.